to the Central Florida Computer Society Windows Special Interest Group, also called the WinSIG. My name is Hewie Poplock. I've been the Windows SIG chair for several years. Looking at the logo that's on the screen, I think we switched from a DOS SIG to a Windows SIG around the time of Windows 3.1, so it would have been in the early 90s. I don't totally recall. I know that Mike Ungerman and I kind of went back and forth with the DOS SIG. We switched it over to the Windows SIG, and somewhere in between we had one or two other people. But I think I've been chairing it now since probably about Windows 95, since about 1995. Anyway, we're glad you're here. If somebody in the room will mute the mic until you have a question, and I'll get started. And let's change my screen. Okay, I'm sharing my screen right now. We're at the at hewie.net/WinSIG, which is the Windows Special Interest Group main page. I'll go to the top. It's Hewie's Views and Reviews at hewie.net, HEWIE.net, and then you either push on the button that says Windows SIG or just do a /WinSIG. And all of the meetings that we've held now since 2008 have links right up through today's meeting. Now, last month, I was not available. I had a last-minute family emergency, ended up in the hospital ER room for the all of Sunday afternoon and evening. And so I understand that there were some people who sat in and helped, and you talked a lot about the Windows 10 security risks was one of the topics, and I've listed many of the articles that I've found dealing with security issues and concerns that people have had. So you can take a look at those. If there are any that I missed that you guys discussed last month, please let me know and I'll add them to this list so that they are available and take a look at them. Now I'm going to go to today's meeting. If I can find it, there we go. Here's today's meeting notes. And you can go to these. All of these are articles that I have found in the last month or two. And I'm going to share with you, and we'll talk about dealing with Windows. Notice there's a chat message. Let's see if there's anything I need to. Okay. Gabe says his sound is occasionally dropping out. Hopefully that's not happening to anyone else. The meeting notes, I'm going to be doing a presentation at the APCUG conference in Las Vegas later this month, in less than 2 weeks, on how I put these notes together. And I use something called Feedly, which is an RSS reader, and Evernote. And I collect these notes, and then I decide which ones to use for the meeting. And I'm going to show at the conference how I do it, and how I do it quickly and easily with saving hours and hours of searching and trying to put things together. So if you're going to be at the conference, please join us. If not, we're probably going to be doing that same presentation at the next APCUG virtual conference come November. So let's get started for today. And the first thing that I mentioned was a quick review of the articles about Windows 10 security. So there's a link that will take you directly to last month's listing of articles. The next article that I wanted to mention that I thought was an interesting came from CNN Money, and it was buying a new laptop. Here's how to make sense of some of the Intel's new core chips. And as I scroll down, what I want to go over is the quick guide, and I'll highlight the, whoops, highlighted too much here. I'm going to highlight and talk about these 6 items. Here's a quick guide. If you want a super cheap tablet or a tiny PC plus basic computing tasks, then look for a Core M3 chip. If you want a moderately priced tablet or tablet laptop hybrid for average or plus average tasks, then a Core M5, the M standing for mobile. And higher end tablet and laptop hybrid and average tasks, then a Core M7. An inexpensive laptop or a mini PC doing average tasks, a Core i3. Moderately priced PC and advanced tasks, look for a Core i5. And a high-end, a full-powered laptop and seriously advanced computing tasks, then you want to look at a Core i7. Now, there's several other considerations. One of the big ones is the amount of RAM that you have in your computer. The more RAM, the better, the faster that will work. Windows 8, Windows 10 will work with 1 gigabyte of RAM, but I don't recommend it. Minimum should be 2. 4 is better. More than 4 is even better. You'll find that you can do more tasks at the same time. There's less lag when you have enough memory, RAM. So that's one thing you want to look at. And then also storage. You want to make sure that you have enough storage, but in these days where we have mobile storage or cloud storage, a lot of us are utilizing that, but it's still, you have to go out to the cloud and get that data. So there is time involved, and you have to be connected or be online in order to use it. Hang on one second. Okay, hopefully the shut off on the mic did shut off and I didn't cough in your ear, and I apologize if I did. So I just bought a Microsoft Surface. It does not use one of the i chips, one of the Intel chips, but it does use a small chipset and with 2 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage with the ability to have a SD card of 128 gigabytes. So, and I'm online, so I'm able to utilize the OneDrive from Microsoft and any other online cloud storage that I use. Okay, how to get into safe mode in Windows 10. Excuse me. If you've ever, if you're familiar with safe mode up until Windows 10, you turn on the computer and just start pounding on the F8 key, and eventually, hopefully, you got into safe mode. Well, that's changed in Windows 10. And I didn't know how to get into it until I had a problem. When I had a problem, I did a search on that, and it was a Microsoft issue where I got a Start menu and Cortana aren't working, critical error, but I couldn't find how to fix it. And I found this article, but as I read down the article, I was able to find this portion, how to get into safe mode. And this is the part that I want, you might want to save somewhere so you can know how to do it. I tried to do it earlier today to be able to show you, and when I do, we lose connection, so I can't do it. So we'll have to go just by what it says, and you can try it on your own. Please don't, to those of you who are online, please don't do it until after we're done today. To get into safe mode, you hold the Shift key down while you press the power icon and select Restart. So when you go to the Start button, you'll see there's a power button. Hold the Shift key down and click on that. Select Restart. When you do that, yes.
We have a question.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Hewie, it's Arvin. I have that same critical error. I can't get anywhere.
Can you hear him?
Do you have, is that the instructions to fix that error online?
That's what I thought he just said. Arvin is saying he has the same.
Yeah, this is a way to fix it, and in order to do it, you really need to get into safe mode, and this is telling you how to get into safe mode. So yeah, you want to get this article and take a look at it. It may help solve the problem.
It's on your website.
That's correct. All of these links that I'm going over are on my website. Okay, once you're within the Windows recovery environment, you'll get several items that you can choose. One of them will be select troubleshoot, and then use advanced options, and then the startup settings, and then restart it. When it restarts, you should see a number of options. Press 5 or F5 for safe mode with networking. When you do it with networking, you will be able to get online as well as, but you'll be in safe mode. Once you sign into your account in safe mode, for this particular problem, you're done. You just restart your PC and return to a normal boot. It should fix the problem, Arvin. But this is how you get into safe mode, and then once you're in safe mode, for those of you who need to do anything in safe mode can, then you just restart your PC and you'll be back in. It will do a normal boot. You can go ahead and mute the mic if you would, so I don't get any feedback.
Are you getting feedback?
No, I'm not actually, but I heard some kind of a noise in the background.
That was
But no.
my phone. I forgot to mute it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting any feedback, which is good. Okay, the next item that I thought we'd talk about is how to add a web shortcut to Windows 10 start screen. It's not easy. If it's a particular program that's not a window, that does not already have one of the Windows icons, and you want it in this start menu with the boxes, you can create it, but it's kind of a interesting workaround to make it happen. I've tried it a few times. It's not the easiest thing to figure out, but try to follow me and try to follow the article if you're going to do it. First of all, you can't do it with Microsoft Edge. And I discovered what you're trying to do is create a shortcut, and that's a right mouse click in Internet Explorer, but not in Facebook, or not Facebook, not in Firefox or Chrome. So Internet Explorer is the best way to accomplish this. When you do that, you go to what you're looking at, which says open the website for which you want to create a shortcut in Internet Explorer. Right-click on the blank part of the page and choose Create Shortcut. It doesn't work in Microsoft Edge. The shortcut will be created in Windows 10 Desktop. This is your only option. It'll put it on the desktop. Then right-click on the Windows 10 Start button and choose Run. When you do, you will get the box that you see on the screen. Type the name of the program. And what you want to do is open shell:/programs and click OK. Then go back to the desktop, right-click on the newly created web shortcut and choose Copy. Jump back to the Open Programs window and choose Paste to install the shortcut. It's going to be on a page like this. Let's see if I can make this bigger. There you go. You paste it, and it'll be on the list, and it'll become another item on this list under Programs. I'm presuming you can see that picture.
It's pretty small. Is there any way?
Yeah, Hewie, let me ask you a question. Do you have Zoom It on that computer from Microsoft?
I may have, but it'll get very confusing very quickly with what I've got set up here. Let me try doing this for you.
That works better.
Much better.
That help? Okay.
Yes, excellent.
Okay, and you want to paste it, and it's going to paste into the programs folder. Once you do that, we're going to go to the next slide, and let me bring that one up and make that larger. Then you'll see it on your apps menu. You'll see it over here. I don't know if you can see my mouse moving over it or not, but way to the left. They added Facebook in this example, and you'll see it as a new item on the apps menu. What you'll be able to do then, whoops, I went too far here. What you'll be able to do then is once you locate the web shortcut, you drag it to the start screen. And let's make this one bigger. This is just drag it and move it over to wherever you want to put it, and it's then on your start screen. I've set up my Facebook that way. I set up my Google Calendar that way. I've set up a couple other programs, and it does work. And then from that point on, you can just open up your start menu, go to the right button, click it, and it just opens the page that you want, the article that you want, the program that you want. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. Note, just because you created the shortcut using Internet Explorer doesn't mean that Windows 10 will open the website using Internet Explorer. Windows 10 associates the web shortcuts with your preferred web browser. So in my case, where I'm using Firefox as my default browser, once I've created that button and I click on a link, a linked button, it will open it up in Firefox, not in IE. So hopefully that will help you. For those of you using Windows 10, I found it, I'm using it on my Surface, and I'm using it on this computer as well. Okay, some Edge browser tips. Let me close up a couple of these windows up here first. Okay, let's make this larger so you can read it. You'll notice this comes from a website called daves.computer.tips. As I say, I find articles in various places. I save them using, I get them using Feedly, save them into Evernote, and then go back, and when I'm putting together my plans for the meeting, I just go through my Evernotes, find the notes that I think will work with the particular meeting that I'm doing, and then I create the list of links for you. And this is accessing the settings menu in Edge. Edge is the new replacement browser for Windows 10. It is not complete. Windows Edge or Internet Edge does not, at this point, have any way to have add-ons and additional programs. So a lot of the utilities that I use in Firefox and that I used with Internet Explorer will not work with Edge. So I don't use Edge a whole lot, but it is a good browser for just browsing. There's certain things that I want to use it for. You want to get into the settings, you want to see those three dots in the top right-hand corner. That gets you into the settings menu in Edge. And you just click that, and then you'll see that you have some choices, and you click on Edge. What you can do is you can change your theme. You can make it a light background or a dark background when you're working with the browser. I prefer the light, but some people like a darker background. And if you want the favorites bar on or off, that's a switch right below where you choose the theme. And you can import favorites from another browser. Unfortunately, at this time, there appears to be no way to import favorites from an HTML file. However, if you previously saved your favorites or bookmarks to an HTML file on external media, you can then import that HTML file into Windows Internet Explorer, and then from there import into Edge. So it's a workaround. You can delete browsing history or data in Edge, and you can choose what you want to clear. You can clear the browsing history, cookies and saved website data, cache data and files, download history, and form data. And if you're saving passwords in the program, you can also tell it to delete those. Just click on clear and it will clear out. You can change the default search engine in Edge, and you'd view the advanced settings to do so. Bing is by default, which is Microsoft's search engine. You can add new, just type in Google www.google.com and then tell that you want it to be your search default search engine. Okay, I'm getting some beeps. Not sure what's going on, but hopefully everything is okay. You can use DuckDuckGo, which is very good. Not sure if you're hearing the same sound I am, but I'm hearing a sound. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, nothing there. All right. And then there's some more advanced settings in Edge. You can enable or disable the Flash player. You can opt to use caret browsing, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure what that is. I tried to read about that, and I haven't figured it out. So don't worry about it. You can set some privacy options. You can manage saved passwords. It's not recommended as there is no master password protection, at least none that the person who wrote the article could find. You can opt to save form entries, choose to block pop-ups and cookies, send do not track requests, use page prediction, enable or disable smart screen filter, and turn Cortana integration on or off. At this point, there are no Edge extensions, but Microsoft has promised there will be, and so Edge is still a work in progress. But at this point, for instance, I can't, as I can with Internet Explorer, Firefox, and Chrome, I can have it save out to Evernote using an extension or an add-on, and in Edge I can't do that. So I have to copy and paste, go back into one of the other browsers, and then do it from there. So it's a hassle sometimes, but you'll find that Microsoft Edge browser is supposed to be much more secure, and it works very well for what it does. And then hopefully they'll be adding on the things and making it right for prime time, which it is not yet. Okay, the Windows 10 Action Center, also known as the Information Center. Let me close the window up here and make this larger for you. How to configure and use the Windows 10 Action Center. If you look down at the bottom of your screen, you will see the Action Center, and it's a little square that looks like a bubble that you would see in a cartoon. And that's the one that's right next to the clock. On my particular computer, there is a keyboard next to it because it's a touch screen, so the keyboard is next to it. So it's going to be down in that area anyway. And when you click it, you may see some or all of these choices, and you may not see others. But you can launch it by clicking that little box at the bottom, or swiping in from the right edge if you have a touch screen. The Action Center icon is the one at the bottom. On a traditional PC without touch capability, click the Action Center icon on the taskbar next to the clock. These are the things that you can do in the Action Center. Number one are all settings, and that launches the Settings app where you can make system adjustments. So you don't have to go looking for the Settings button. You can do it right from that Action Center. Airplane mode. Easily toggle on and off. It disables Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, wired, and cellular connections. So if you think something's going on with your computer and you want to just sever any connection to the internet, just go ahead and click that airplane mode. Or if, in fact, you've got a mobile device, such as a Surface, you can enter the airplane mode when you're on an airplane. The tablet mode toggles the feature on or off and gives you the full start screen, and it works on touch and non-touch PCs, but it's disabled if you have a multi-monitor setup. The battery saver lets you turn it on and off. Obviously, if you want to use it and you're on a laptop or a tablet running on battery power, that's when you would want to use it. The location toggles the location service on or off, so websites can tell where you are. The Connect is the Connect panel to help connect to wireless displays powered by a Miracast that are nearby. The Note launches OneNote, so if you're using OneNote instead of Evernote, you can launch it directly from that, OneNote being a Microsoft product. VPN launches the VPN settings in Windows 10. The rotation lock stops or allow your screen to flip around. So if you're using something like a Surface or one of the Windows tablets, and you don't want it as you turn the screen, you don't want it to rotate, you can lock it so it doesn't, or you can lock it in portrait mode or in landscape mode and keep it there. And then you can also then turn it back on so as you turn your tablet, it will also rotate. Quiet hours is toggled on, will disable notification and system sounds during certain hours. So those of you who leave your computer on but would rather have those sounds turned off, you can do so with the quiet hours. Then the screen brightness lets you adjust the screen's brightness by 25% each time you tap or click it. Now going back, this is what it looks like in that the action area. You'll notice there's tablet mode, connect, note, all settings. If you have both wired and Wi-Fi, you can turn one on, turn the other one off, that sort of thing, usually from this same area. So it's a quick way to get to a lot of adjustments that you need for your computer. And you can collapse them so fewer show or all of them show, and it'll be different on different computers and on different times when you're using your computer. If you go to the settings menu, it's going to look like this. You'll go to the notifications and actions or display, whatever you want to for the settings. You can do some quick actions. You can choose your quick actions, whether you want to connect, project, battery saver, use the VPN, Bluetooth, and so on. So most of the quick action tiles in the Action Center seem to be aimed at more at touch services, but notifications are nice on a traditional PC or a touch device. And then you can show notifications from certain apps. You can turn them on and off. So if you want notifications, you can get them. So that's that article. Next one is 7 tips for customizing a Windows 10 taskbar. And let's make this bigger. The taskbar is a staple feature of the Microsoft operating system and is no different with Windows 10. It's been given a lick of paint, and new features like Cortana have been added to it, but it's still the taskbar we all know and love. You want to add some icons or ditch the default ones. Perhaps you want a splash of color. And so you've got some things you can do here. You can pin programs to it. So programs that you use every day or more than once a day, you might want to have in your taskbar. If it's in your taskbar, if you click it once, it will start. If it's on your desktop, you've got to click it twice. If it's in your start menu, which are the blocks, then you only have to click it once as well. But you have to open that first, and if it's on the taskbar, it just makes it quicker to get to. I happen to have on my taskbar, and I don't, you can't see that because I'm only sharing my browser, but I have the task view, and then I have this PC, and then I have Internet Edge, Internet Explorer, then I have the File Explorer, then I have Firefox, and then my Mail Washer Pro, another program that I use quite often, and then Chrome, and then I have Notepad++, Notepad, WordPad, my program that I use to track my passwords, because I don't leave it open. So I have a button so I can get to it quickly if I can't remember a password, and then Evernote, and then also a quick shutdown button that's always on my taskbar. That one click and it takes me to where I want to go. And if I want to unpin any of those from the taskbar, all I have to do is right mouse click on it, and I will have the choice to unpin this program from taskbar. As soon as I do it, it's not on the taskbar anymore. Now, if you right click on an empty spot on the taskbar and you select properties, it'll bring up a window that'll let you customize the taskbar in several different ways. You can do a search directly. A sizable search box will sit in your taskbar by default. You can use this to search the web, your apps, files, and settings, and access Cortana, the new personal assistant, if that's enabled. The box is pretty wide, though, and so you might want to reduce it to get an icon or get rid of it completely, and that's what it would look like. If you right-click the taskbar, hover over Search, and then you can select from three options: Hidden, which will remove the search function from the taskbar; Show the search icon, which will place a clickable magnifying glass icon; or Show the search box, which is the default. So you'll see a search box at the bottom next on your taskbar on the left. Bear in mind that if you've got your taskbar set to use small icons, you won't have the option to use the search box unless you opt for the larger look. Now, if you want to edit the notification area, you can. And the icons that appear on the far right of the taskbar sit within the notifications area. Those are the icons, excuse me, next to the clock that sit over there. You can adjust which icons appear along with their behavior. To do so, right-click on an empty spot on the taskbar and then select Properties. You'll get this. You can turn them on, turn them off. This will open a window that gives you the access to a host of options. Of particular note are the two links at the top. First, select which icons appear on the taskbar, and here you can turn the specific ones on or off. So you'll see here, always show icons in the notification area. You can turn that off. So you go back and select Turn System Icons On or Off. This time turning them off will remove them completely. Of course, these functions themselves still do exist on the system and are accessible through other routes. make it colorful. You can change the colors. This article will go on and allow you to do that. So you can personalize it. You can choose the color and so on. I won't go through all of that because a lot of you probably won't ever do that. Caution, you are editing the registry at your own risk. So while the following steps bear no risk, we are not responsible for any damage caused by registry edits. And so the rest of the article is how to go in and actually make some changes in your registry. And I don't like to tell people to do that. So you can go into the registry. This will tell you what to do and how to handle it. If you're so inclined, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Huey,
And yes,
I have a comment. If you have time to change the colors of your icons, I think you ought to find some nonprofit to volunteer for or something like that. You have too much time on your hands. Secondly, Eileen Carlisle has asked, and this might be as good a spot as any to answer it, or if you want to wait till later. In Windows 10, apparently, right? She has a desktop or laptop? Laptop. Having problems powering off in Windows 10. I click on the Win 10 icon, but nothing happens. Are you left click or right click? It doesn't show. I go to Task Manager, but don't know what to do. It has changed, so I don't know how to close what is open.
okay, what she's saying, let me see if I can figure out what she's saying doesn't work. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to stop sharing. And
I think
then I'm going to
a quick solution perhaps is Control-Alt-Delete. That would bring up the Task Manager.
well, let's kind of see what her problem is first. I'm going to share my entire screen. Let's see, make sure. Let's see, desktop, and I'll minimize this. You should be seeing my desktop, are you?
Yes.
And you can see the start button down here, down in the bottom left.
Yes.
Okay, is that what, Eileen, is that what you're saying? You're pressing that and
Yes.
nothing is happening?
That's right.
Yes, that's right.
That's not a good sign. Something should be happening. If you right mouse click, I get this. If you left mouse click, you should be getting this. If you're not getting anything.
I go to the task manager and then usually I can close the program in the task, but now I don't know what to do. So,
Do you have the laptop with you? It's not in the car.
Okay, but what she's saying, when she clicks on that, nothing happens. Is that correct?
yes.
Yes.
This doesn't happen or any part of it.
No.
No.
You don't get any, even just the menu items.
No.
Okay, there is this a touch screen by any chance?
No, it isn't.
Not a touchscreen.
Okay. If you right mouse click down here and you get the task manager, I'm going to go ahead and click on task manager. I got to remember where it is here. Somewhere there's a place to shut things off, and I can't remember where it is. I don't think it's on here anymore. You can end tasks. That's not how you do it. Okay. We'll close that. It's not the task manager anymore. You right mouse click here. There is a way to shut off, and I don't remember I'm going to have to do some searching.
I
Uh,
go to, I go to Control Alt Delete.
Yes,
It brings up the task manager.
yes, Control Alt Delete is what, you
yeah.
hold
And I
the
don't know
control.
what to do.
Yeah,
And they
but the
all
task
work.
manager, oh, you get this. I don't know if you can see that or not. Do you see it?
See nothing.
Okay. Yeah, when you do a Control Alt Delete, let me do it one more time. Uh, there's a switch user and lock, but down in the bottom right is a power button. You do not touch Task Manager, but look at the bottom right. You'll see a power button. That's going to look like a circle with a line through it.
I'm going to try it on this machine. This is 8.1. Let's see what
Well,
happens.
why don't you do it until after we're
You
done
see
so
it?
you don't lose connection?
Okay, I'm at the blue screen and I'm showing her where the power button is in the right hand corner. So she
Yeah.
can try that when she gets back.
Yeah.
We're back to your
But
screen.
yeah, what I would do though is I would go into settings and see if you can find if that somehow is shut off. So it's only showing the desktop, but you still should be getting a menu.
Critical error that you and I are getting, because the start menu doesn't work properly at all, period.
I kind of heard something, but I didn't quite hear it.
Arvin said that may be related to the same issue that
Critical error.
the critical error where the start button doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
And ironically, Hewie, I'm going to talk a little bit later, and I wanted you to know about it too. I'm holding in my hand, which I can't show you, but I'm turning it on, and I will tell the group. This is a Digiland tablet. It's an 8-inch tablet, and it has Windows 8.1 on it. I got it at Best Buy. It was $99.99. I have 15 days. I don't think I'm going to keep it. It's very tiny. I have to use a stylus, and it's still, the response is not great, and it's slow. But if I go to the desktop, I have installed Chrome, Opera, and Total Commander, and there's the desktop. You can all come up and look at it later. And I'm having the same issue with that start button. If I press the start button here, nothing happens on the bottom. If I press did that time. I did get back to the Metro. But there is a button here which would get me switches back and forth between them. Okay, back to you.
I have found, especially with the Surface, where there are some unique problems. Who would have ever thought to do a, 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 a reset? You press the on, off, and volume down button at the same time to get a reset. But that's how you do the reset. And I did some searching and found it. So different computers and have different issues and problems like this. You're not the only one. Obviously, Stan's having a similar problem, Eileen. So you might want to do some searching on start button won't start, or and try some different ways of wording your problem, and you may come up with uh, an answer using Google search. Um, yes.
I alternate at 4.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Bob Vance on lines asked, by any chance, have you installed a classic start menu or uh, the other start menu, the the Windows 8, at any time? Have they ever been installed, Eileen?
No,
No,
no.
Okay. Was this an update?
yes.
Did it ever
Yes,
work?
it'll work before the update.
I only used it once.
So you only use it once
Oh,
before doing
okay.
the update.
Okay, but since you've updated it, you've had the problem.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's got to be something. Something is got to be adjusted. There should be a fix for it, but we'd have to go looking for it. Okay, there are some other changes here, but these are all going into the registry, so I'm not going to talk about them or cover them. Let's do some 10 common computer myths. This has got nothing to do with Windows 10. It's got to do with computers. I saw there were some pretty good items here, and some are up for discussion. You may not think the way this person who wrote the article thinks. One is you need to defragment your drive frequently. Here's everything you need to know about defragmenting a modern computer. You don't need to. The Windows computers have built-in defragmentation utility that automatically runs in the background on a predefined schedule. On OS X, Macs have a file system that automatically defragments files in a process known as HFC, or Hot File Adaptive Clustering. Additionally, many modern computers are now shipping with SSD or flash storage that should never be defragmented. It will actually ruin your SSD. So, in essence, when you used to have to look for utilities to help you defrag and you wanted to make sure you defrag, you don't have to do that anymore. Okay, that's myth one. Viruses and spyware are slowing down your computer. Anytime a
Question,
PC,
Huey.
sure.
Go ahead.
I've seen where it said you have defragged your machine at 2:45 in the morning, but I'm not, and the computer is not on at 2:45 in the morning. What's going on?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, you either have a mysterious computer or it lies to you. But other than that, I don't have a clue. I don't know. That's what time it was probably scheduled. If it wasn't on, it didn't do it. Uh, if is this Windows 10?
Oh, Windows 7.
Okay. Yeah, 7's probably still doing defrag, and it'll do it in the middle of the night. You might want to leave it on every once in a while for a few hours to let it do what it needs to do. Doesn't hurt it, even though if you're not using it, because sometimes things have to be done in the background. And if you're using the computer, they don't do them. And if you shut down right away, they never get done. Same thing for updates. Anytime a PC user runs into any sort of slowdown, the most common and incorrect thing is to blame it on malware or a virus. While it's always a possibility, modern malware is so profit-driven that it's in the creator's best interest to keep it running stealthily in the background. As such, you won't typically notice any performance decreases due to an infection. However, if you've got a whole bunch, let's say, of toolbars installed on your browser may be slowing your system down. Your browser may be running slowly. But for the most part, malware is not going to slow it down. So instead, it's more likely your computer is slower due to running too many programs simultaneously, unnecessary plugins and add-ons, hogging CPU usage, lack of free RAM or disk space, or a hardware problem. Or it could be your computer is just getting old. So,
That's silly.
what's that? That it's getting old?
Yes.
Well, it's getting old. It means that you got a lot of older things running on it, and probably a lot of things running in the background.
All right, but it's not wearing out. It's not.
No, it's
It's
not
not
wearing
because
out.
of the.
No. But it could be an older computer that just can't handle what you're trying to do where the newer computers could. And that's because it may not have enough memory, it may not have enough storage, and so on. We've all seen ads that look like something download X junk removing crapware programs and so on for running. Is it truth? It's this author's opinion that most of it's junk software and is never needed no matter what operating system you're on. These programs are commonly used to deliver malware. Some are, not commonly. But you've got to be very careful what you install, and to make sure that it's not just something you saw advertised and download and install it, because it could be a malware installer. Paid uninstallers not needed. You can uninstall an application completely. However, Robo was what. There's a couple of them that we've used. Revo uninstaller is a good one, and there's I think A Shampoo has an uninstaller too. They're not expensive. I think the Revo you can actually run free. Sometimes they clean up some things that the basic uninstall do not. The next, you don't need antivirus software. Two most common reasons for not needing antivirus are usually I'm on a Mac, Macs don't get viruses, or I don't do anything online. Both are completely incorrect. You always need an antivirus program. Antivirus, virus and malware are two different things. So you still can get malware, and an antivirus program will not tell you. So that's the reason for running something like Malwarebytes, Spybot search and destroy, and there are some others that can find malware. Turning your computer on and off regularly is bad. Not turning your computer off at night is bad. There's no truth here. In fact, leaving your computer on and allowing it to sleep, excuse me, while not in use, is a safe and effective way to keep from having to turn it on and off regularly. System resources used as well as battery power draw is minimal while in the sleep mode. On the other hand, you should turn your computer off from time to time. There are times it just needs to be reset and restarted. Today I had to actually close down my cable modem and my uh, switch that I had plugged into it because I was getting some errors. Excuse me. And then I had to reboot the computer in order to make sure I have I'm hardwired in my main computer into the computer I'm using right now, and it wasn't seeing the internet connection even though I was hardwired. And by doing that, it fixed the problem. Deleting contents from your hard drive actually erases them. To securely erase data, use a magnet. It'd be comforting to all of us to know that anything we deleted from our PC was gone forever, but it isn't. Actual data remains until it's overwritten. So use a program that makes multiple passes on your hard drive and overwrites it with a series of ones and zeros until it's unrecoverable. Grab your drill and drill 10 to 12 holes through the drive, and be sure to scatter them out rather than drilling in a straight line. So those are two good methods of destroying hard drive information. And I know, yes, Ted has a problem in the fact that after he ran a program, it still showed the file, correct?
It was CCleaner. Did you ever run that multiple passes, Ted? No, he's not tried to run it, 6 passes or whatever.
And he made
Takes too much time.
The files. Well, just let it do it by itself. You don't have to sit there. But there's a good
possibility. He never sleeps, apparently.
Well, then he leaves his computer on 24 hours a day.
Arvin has a question.
There are file shredding programs that will overwrite. Purposely, you can pick the program and it will find all the places on the drive that the file exists, and it will overwrite them as ones and zeros anywhere from 7 to 15 times. 7 is the Defense Department standard for overwriting. 2 or 3 times is probably enough, but I would suggest 7 works great.
Yeah, what Arvin is saying, I believe, is that you should run those programs at least 7 times or more, so it truly overwrites everything that's been deleted. But I'm suspecting that one of the problems Ted was having is maybe the files were being overwritten, but the index with the names of the files was not, and so the files are not available and uh, could not be found, but the titles show up. So that may be
Huey, the
another issue.
CCleaner gives you the opportunity to run single pass, or maybe it's 7 and then 14 or something. And Ted seems to think he doesn't have time to let it run that long. I guess he never sleeps and doesn't want to leave the computer on when he goes to bed or whatever. But that the reason I interrupted you before, the paragraph before was talking about life of the computer. No, I
Oh,
think it's down a little bit. Yes, right here. Every computer component has a limited lifespan. Turning your computer off when it's not needed will allow the components to last a bit longer. And that's absolute hogwash. I just did a quick calculation. Hard drives, which are one of the more fragile things, have a mean time between failures on the average of 300,000 hours. That's 34.25 years. So if you turn it off, how much are you really saving? The hard drive is going to fail, because of vibration, dropping, that kind of thing, a laptop especially. So I think that the issue of turning it off so your computer will last longer is really silly.
yeah, but it is saying turn your computer off from time to time. That's not
I
saying
agree
turn it
with
off
that.
and not in use. But occasionally, if you're going to you're going on vacation for a week, probably not a bad idea to turn it off.
Of course. And turning it off regularly, at least once a week, to reset everything is true on cell phones and tablets and everything else. So that's
Yeah, you have the same problem on your cell phone. If you turn it off once a week or whatever, I usually turn it off every couple of nights. It resets everything. Yuri,
Yes.
Jack. Can you hear Jack?
um, there's a program Ted was talking about shredding things, right? There's a program called Slim Cleaner. It's put out by the same people that Slim Drive, and it finds the drives and stuff like that. There is a shredder in that, which I don't use because I don't shred anything. But I'm sure if you use that, because I use that program for some other things, I'm sure it would shred whatever you want. Because it's
Yeah,
pretty,
shred.
pretty.
But you're saying
It's a shredder.
It's disk
okay.
wiper. I've used it. It took 18 hours
No,
and I got the same result.
was that under Slim Cleaner? Was the program? Did you try the shredder?
Disk wiper.
Shredder, it says, not this
Shredder
wiper.
does the whole drive. I
Oh,
don't
well.
do the whole drive.
Oh, you didn't want to do that. Okay. That's one way to get rid of it.
Well, if you're having a problem getting rid of that, I would get yourself a good drill and go ahead and start drilling through the
That's
platters
great.
and
don't want
destroying them that way.
to drive.
And you don't have to worry about it.
Ted, please run CCleaner 7 times and report on that. Otherwise, don't keep bringing it up. It's silly for us to keep talking about it. Okay, go ahead.
And Windows 10 tip, let's see, find and use Internet Explorer when needed. Yeah, Internet Explorer does not automatically show up in Windows 10. Bob Vance made a comment online. Let's see. You can also run the Slim Utilities, which is free. And then he says 137 or 35 time overwrite on Slim Cleaner. So that's what you need to do with multiple times. Okay, Windows 10 tip, find and use the Internet Explorer when needed. So if you're not using Windows Edge and you do want to find Internet Explorer, it is included with Windows 10, but it's not obvious. It's not there. You can't find it easily. The best way to do it is down in your box down at the bottom where the search box is, just type in Internet Explorer and it will show up at the top and you can just click on it there. You can also go into Windows Accessories, I believe it is, and through the menu, and it's in under the Windows Accessories. And then what you can do is you can right mouse click and tell it to pin it to the start menu or to pin it to your taskbar, and you can then use it whenever you want. So you can pin it to the start or pin it to the taskbar, or you can actually pin it to both. And so then it becomes, when you pin it, let's see if it shows here. And then you can open with Internet Explorer once you do that. And so that's a good article to refer to if that's something you need to do. You want to learn about Windows 10? Here's some good links to get some more help besides the WinSIG website with a lot of links that I post. There's a whole list of links here. The super guide, everything you need to know, is from PC World. Important Windows 10 questions and answers. A Microsoft Windows 10 review, the tour, and another review, installation and setup, tips and tricks, and security and privacy. So there's some good links there to look to get more information on Windows 10. How to customize the start menu.
Huey, you have 10 minutes to continue, please.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Well, there's a how-to video here if I can learn how to stop it. There we go. I don't know if you were getting the audio or not, but I was. How to customize Windows 10 start menu, how to rearrange, and so on. This might be where those of you who are having trouble getting the button to start, where you might be able to, there might be something in this article that turn the live tile off. Let's see if there's anything else. Group your tiles. Just looking to see if there's a settings place. Resize the menu. Other tricks. If you get into settings, start. Okay, let's see if I can click on this. Does this open up into a? No, it doesn't open to a. But let me make it bigger and see if I can do that. Start. Occasionally show suggestions and start. Show most used apps. Show recently apps. Start full screen on or off, and show recently opened items. So if it's not starting at all, that's not going to help. Okay. So I was hoping there'd be an answer for Eileen's issue there, and I don't see anything. Okay, and 6 underappreciated features of the Windows operating system. Let's take a look at that. Free first aid. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. 6 underappreciated features of the Windows operating system. While Windows 7 and 8.1 aren't brand new, they do offer a lot of cool features that are noticeable right away. The calculator. There's a built-in calculator. If you don't know how to do it, I think am I still full screen? Can you see my taskbar at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. If I come down here and I just type in CALC, at the top is the calculator, and I click on it. Come on. I got the calculator. So if you can't find the button or don't remember where it is, just type what the program is that you're looking for down there. So if I was looking for Internet Explorer, for instance, I didn't have to type in the word Explorer. It's now at the top. And then it gives me a bunch of other things as well. Eileen, that's something you might want to try and see if you can type in anything down at the bottom.
Yes, thank you.
She'll try that.
Yeah. And I can't remember what the let's see, power.
Shutdown would be the correct
Okay, yeah, okay,
term, I
that's what I
think.
was trying to think. Okay. Thank you. Add or remove programs, shut the box. Now let's try shut.
Shut
Yeah,
down or
auto
log
power
off.
on and off. Auto power on and shut down. No, I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to do that right now. Add or remove programs. You might want to see if there's something missing there too. But, so that's something you can do. Excuse me. So you can bring up the calculator by just going in and typing it. And I use the calculator, but there's also several settings with the calculator. If you do monthly payments, you do some other things, there are some settings within the calculator you might want to play around with. Let's take a look at that just briefly. Notice here, standard, under here, standard scientific programmer converter, volume, length, weight, mass, temperature, settings. So if you wanted to go to temperature, you can type in under Celsius. I saw somebody had it 28 degrees Celsius. Well, that's 84 in Fahrenheit. So they were talking about what the temperature was, and it said 28, and I said, I wonder what that actually is. And I don't compute that in my mind. So I could have done it with this. So you can do it through temperature. You can do scientific for those of you who use a scientific calculator. And again, this is all part of Windows. For volume, milliliters and teaspoons, and you can change it to cups, pints, quarts. So if you got so many milliliters and you want to know how many quarts it is, you type in 85 milliliters, and you're about 9/10 of a quart. So the calculator is there, and use it. And there's more here. Now the Windows key and X. Most editions of Windows 7 combination launches Mobility Center. On Windows 8 and 10, the shortcut does something a little different. You'll get a menu most people call the power user menu. So again, this is the Windows key and the X menu. So I'm going to do that right now, and I get this. Programs and features, power options, event viewer, system, device manager, network connections, disk management, a lot of those things that you would not normally find but occasionally need to look, plus your search and run. And then there's a shutdown or sign out as well there.
So
So
that's another one for Eileen to try.
right. That would be the Windows and the X key.
T and X. And that works on Windows 8.1 as well.
That's correct.
Over the left
8.1 or 10.
I just brought it up on this computer.
And here's the Windows X menu editor for Windows 8. So it'll show a little bit different. Your control panel might not be the most exciting part of the computer, but if you need to tweak some settings, so there's some information about all about the control panel and how to uninstall a program. For instance, a junk toolbar, edit your firewall, and so on. So you can get into the control panel in Windows 10, but the settings pretty much have replaced it. But if you do a Windows key and I, you get the settings menu. But if you go to your start button and type in, oops, gotta learn how to spell control. You've got control panel, and when you click on it, It's the old control panel, the same as what you had in 7 and 8.
I
So
think
it's
the Control X is a good thing to know about because that gives you a lot of options, including the
right.
shutdown, and the control panel was on there as well. Huey, I think we ought to try to wrap it up so we can take a 10-minute break. Our speakers are here, so can you make some final comments and we'll
Okay,
end
let's
there,
go
please?
back. Sure. There's only a couple items that we didn't cover, and you can do that on your own, especially if when Windows refuses to eject your hard drive or your USB stick or something, 5 ways to safely remove them. So take a look at that. Take a look at all of the old links that I have going back again to 2008. If you have questions, you can do searches. Hopefully, I've answered some questions and given you some insights. And thank you for joining me. And if I can stop my sharing.
Thank you, Hewie.
Yes, very good. Enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Let's see, for whatever reason, there we go. It should have stopped sharing. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Okay, and let me just go back to this button. And at this point, I will stop the recording. And thank you, everybody. Have a good second meeting. I wish I was there. I would enjoy it, but I'm glad you joined. And we've had 6 people online, as well as all those people in the audience there. Thanks for joining.
Okay,
Thanks, Huey.
thank you.